Hey guys, it's Isaac again, and I'm here hopefully to give you some encouragement, some food for thought, some reflection. Now, what I'm going to be referring to you about in the next couple of minutes, I think is both an outward and also an inward reflection. Now, I want to ask you a question to launch this. Have you ever been impacted by the people that you surround yourself in your life? Have you ever been impacted by what someone said about you? Have you ever been impacted by a circumstance, a situation, or maybe you've been impacted and become the product of an environment? And I think most of us at a basic level and at varying levels will be able to say quite easily the answer is yes to that question. In some regard, we have been impacted and influenced by the people around us. But this really hit me in a big way when I was listening to a podcast. Now, the man on the podcast, this wasn't his quote, it's a quote by a guy called Jim Rohn. And he said, "You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with." I'm gonna say that again. You are the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Now, this was really profound to me when I heard it because I've never heard something like it before. And it caused me to then rewind and do a reflection on all the moments of my life and thinking, who was I hanging out with? Who are the 5 people in my life that I'm spending the most time with? And as I began to do this, as I began to reflect and rewind, I realized that actually this statement was true for me. That who I was and the things that I was doing was pretty well reflecting the people that I was spending the most time with. However, it wasn't just when I was rewinding that I realized that this statement was true for me. I realized that this quote, or the principles in this quote, were mirrored in Scripture. And whether you're a Christian or your life is orientated to God or not, I think this is super important to understand. And I got this deeper understanding, and it was in a sermon that I was listening to. And he was saying the things in your ear get through to your head, and the thoughts in your head then get to your heart. And what comes out of your heart determines the course of your life, or everything you're going to do with your life. And it comes from Proverbs 4 verse 23, that little thing. And what it's basically saying is that the things you're hearing, the things you're listening, the people you surround yourself with, those voices in your head, once they get into your head, those thoughts can flow to your heart and everything. And the biblical principle is you got to guard your heart, because everything that flows out of the heart can determine what you're going to do for your entire life. So the encouragement, maybe the reflection, the challenge that I want to present to you is think about the people you're spending the most time with. Think about the future, what you want to do in the future, who you want to be, and then reflect on the situation you're in now and go, is this really the right people I should be hanging out with? Is this really who I want to be imitating, who I want to be like? Have a think about it. Your role models, who do you want to be like? Maybe for you it is God. How much time are you spending with God, trying to imitate Him? That's the challenge that I want to give you. Reflect on the 5 people you spend the most time with and think about the influence and the impact that's having on your life. And maybe you can begin to make some incremental changes to making maybe some better decisions and choosing some better friends. I hope that was helpful.